So, hey everyone, it's Jesse Eker. Super excited to have you here. Today is going to be really, really awesome. We're going to be bringing on Harv Eker in a second. This is where everyone's originally came from. Everyone's come from knowing Harv. Obviously, many of you have read his book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And we thought it would be like just something amazing and special to we've been talking about business growth. We've been talking about how to grow your business. And, you know, the person that I've learned the most from is Harv, obviously. And so when it comes down to all the concepts and the principles and the strategies that we use in our business, those all stem from Harv. And, you know, obviously as my dad, I've grown up a certain way to learn new habits, to watch him and model him, to be coached by him and be mentored by him. So we thought it would just make this whole thing even more special for you all if you got to hear his perspective, because my perspective is only my perspective. His perspective is vast. He's got lots of different businesses. He's trained millions of students from around the world, and obviously, the more experience someone has, the more they can share their perspectives of like what they've seen work and what they haven't. And the great thing is he's seen so many students work really, really well as far as what's done really well and what people struggle with. So again, let's make this happen. Harv, are you there? I just want to make sure just before I intro you.
I'm here.
Okay, go. All right, everyone, let's get this started. Hey, everyone. So the gentleman I'm bringing on, as I mentioned, is one of the most engaging, fun, and energetic speakers on the planet. He's the author of the New York #1 best-selling book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, which has now been translated into 42 different languages. He's getting close to having 3 million students who he's taught to reach high levels of success and achieve financial freedom. As you guys know, I've been talking about him all freaking week, that he is my dad, he's my mentor, and one of my best friends. So everyone on Facebook, everyone on Zoom, let's give Mr. Harv Eker a huge round of applause. Woo! Hey.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Let me pin your video so everyone can see that. Okay, cool. So again, I wanted to make sure that we chatted today because obviously we're talking about business growth. And when we talk about business growth, we've talked about many different things in the 5-day challenge. But one of the main things I wanted to talk to you about is really get your perspective from everything that you've done. So I obviously have some questions that I want to get your thoughts on, and we could just roll from there. Cool?
All right, one question first.
Okay.
How Harv do you want me to be? I mean, in other words, can these people handle the truth or what?
So they want authentic Harv. So whatever that means, then you bring—
Plug your ears, everybody.
Yeah, you bring them out. Bring them out.
All right. Listen. The reason I'm asking is because, you know, there's two types of people, and one type are the people that, you know, everything's politically correct. Everything has to be fit in their little box of their mind. And if it doesn't fit, they get really uncomfortable and they freak out and stuff like that. And then there's other people that don't give a shit. They just want to be successful and happy, and they're willing to learn in any way that it comes, you know, they just want to, you know, their appetite for growth and expansion and success is that great that they don't really care, you know, about all the political correctness and everything framed in the right way and blah, blah, blah. So I'm trying to, you know, just want to know who your audience is right now, because there's two ways to go here.
All right, good. Well, we definitely want you to go the way that is going to be most impactful, most effective, and we both know which way that is. So let's do that.
Okay. So let's just start with that for 1 second, because that's got to be the key thing. You know, the most impactful and effective. And we'll come back to that.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Let's do it. So let's talk about wealth. Okay, so for a lot of people, they're probably wondering, what would you say, in your experience, is the number one skill for creating wealth? And then on top of that, if you were going to rate yourself around between 1 to 10, of 10 being the best, one being the worst, how would you rate yourself on this skill that you possibly have?
Well, first thing, I mean, I think you mentioned like in today's world, especially today's world, like really today's world, like, you know, the economy and all that kind of stuff. People have been asking me about that lately. So I think the first and most important thing about that is that everyone needs to understand people are worried about the economy right now, especially, yes? And
Yeah.
so the message I would say to everybody is don't worry about the economy. Why? There's no such thing as the economy in my mind. No such thing. Okay. It's not like there is the economy. No, how many people are in the world? 7+ billion people. My friends, there are 7+ billion economies. All right. So there's no the economy. How do you know that for sure? Because isn't it true that when the economy is fantastic, really humming along as it has been for 4 or 5 years, there's people who are still broke. There's people who still can't make it. There's people who are still floundering around in the best economy in history. Okay, so what's that all about? And then in the same time, isn't it true that when the economy is terrible, that many people get really, really, really rich? Of course. In fact, just so you know, everyone, this is really important because mindset is critical. That, the Forbes 500, which is Forbes picks the top 500 companies in the world. And the Forbes 500, half of them that are in the Forbes 500 right now started during the last recession. In the recessions when they started. So do not talk to me about the economy. There's no the economy. There's only your economy. And I've taught you this, and I've taught many people this. And for myself, one of the biggest differences for me, and I'll go just from my own experience, is that when everyone was talking about the economy crashing, all I thought about was, what an opportunity. This is an opportunity. Why? Because people have problems now. And this is the critical thing that you're asking about. Like, how do you create wealth in this economy or any economy? By understanding what it is that creates wealth. So what creates wealth? Lots of money. Okay, lots of money equals wealth. That's pretty simple. Then let's go back one step. How do you create lots of money? Very simple. Why do people give you their money? You have to get it from somewhere. You're not getting it from the sun and the trees and the cows. You get all your money from where? Other people, right? Why would someone give you their money? Because, and this is really important, just that all of our students really have to get this. You get your money from other people. Why? Because you are solving a big or little problem for them. So then now it comes all this boils down to is solving the problem for people. So remember I asked you at the very beginning of this is like, how do you want me to be with these people? And the words you used were impactful and effective. Everyone understand that people are paying you to have their problems solved or helped or improved. And your answer, your solution must be impactful and effective. In other words, it actually has to work. It has to really help people. So that's a given. If it doesn't do that, you are SOL. Excuse my language, shit out of luck. Okay. It's nothing you do is going to help. People ask me all the time, what was the biggest reason you made all of your millions and millions and millions? It's because of your marketing, right? I go, yeah, I guess it is. Absolutely. However, if I didn't have a tremendous, amazing, incredible product to begin with, no amount of marketing can help shit. Okay? It's still shit. If you've got something really good or quite good or really helps people, it's a lot easier to market that. Yes or yes. So you got to really hone down what you're doing. You've got to have a great product, a great service, and that's super, super, super important because it's a lot easier to market when what you're doing for people really works for them. So that's where you start with people. And that's how you create wealth, is solving a problem for one person so that you know that it works. Then you go for 2, then you go for 10, then you go for 100, then you go for thousands and thousands and thousands. And then you get into leverage and all that, all the key business principles that we teach. But the basic, you got to have a fantastic product or service. And then you've got to get it out there to help people. That's how business is. You do a lot of that, your money increases. It's pretty simple.
Totally. And one of the things I want to bring up really quick that some people may be like wondering is like, well, how do I really create a really great product? And the way that you create it is you have to know the problem that you're solving, and you have to be able to, which you've taught me many, many times, you have to be able to articulate that clearly and concisely, that you know what problem you are solving. Because if you don't know what problem you're actually going to solve, then how are you supposed to create a great product or service around that, right?
Absolutely. And that's where you get into your market, who it is you're talking to. Because
Right.
I mean, what problem are you going to solve? Well, how do you know? You need to know your market. So
Right.
we have our market, you have to be able to describe your market. Say, who are the people that are paying me to solve their problem? Who wants this problem solved? Okay. And what is the problem that they actually have? By the way, you can put an S on problem because they're going to have several problems.
Yeah.
But you're going to be good at solving one main problem for them. It could be an overarching problem, but a main problem, and then supporting them along those lines with more products and services to enhance what you do for them. But if you don't know who you're talking to, how on earth are you supposed to know what problems they got? I mean, right. Fish have different problems than bears, okay? Certain people who are in business and certain businesses has different problems than people that are managers and in companies and CEOs in companies that are huge, $20 million a day companies. They're different, completely different. You need to know your target audience, okay? That's the critical things. And the way to do this that I suggest just for everybody is think of them as your friend. Like if you had a friend and your friend was a good friend of yours, and you're having dinner and they're going, oh, I've got such a problem. And you go, well, what's going on for you? Oh, this or that, or this. It could be in their health. It could be in their relationship. It could be in their business or their money. You're going to, and then you hear the problem and you go, hey, this is what I would do, right? We all do that, right? You just do that for your clients, but you've got to make it feel like, I feel like all of our clients, I wouldn't say they're every one of them is our best friend, but I do feel like in my mind, these are people who are our friends that we are just trying to help with everything we've got.
Totally, for sure. And that's why we're doing these for everyone. So, so let's move on to the next thing, because I think this would be really helpful for people. So when it comes down to it, what would you say is the biggest mistake or mistakes business owners are committing right now that are really killing their chances of success?
There's going to be several, but I mean, the biggest ones are always the same. Right? We teach this in our business program. We teach a triangle, right? And it's the business success triangle. And it was created not to be a triangle, was created to help people. Because every time every time I taught these live, it would always be the same problems, the same questions over and over and over. And they all fell into three categories. So the triangle, as you know, looks like this. It looks like this side is the right vehicle, RV. This side is RK, which is right knowledge. And the bottom portion is right you. So there's three things: right vehicle, right knowledge, right you. That's it. If you can get those three together, you're in good shape, okay? But I'll tell you the same thing. If you blow up any one of those, you're screwed. It's over. And which one are you going to blow up? The right vehicle? It's done. Right? You have no knowledge? Finished, okay? The wrong knowledge? You're over. Wrong you? It's finished. So that's all the three things you need to work on. So I think the first issue with big mistake people have, their mindset. They're not ready to win. They're not ready to succeed. And again, I asked you at the beginning, who is this for? If these are my students and these are your students that follow in that footsteps, my friends, I'm not going to mince any words. I want people to get freaking rich. You understand? Rich. And I know today it's a lot about tiny houses and just earning a little living and keeping it simple. That's all great. Go somewhere else. I'm not all about that. I'm not putting my foot in a tiny house, okay? Not going to happen. Right now, I'm sitting in an 8,800 foot house, mansion, one of three that are the same size, 2 acres, quarantined, I guess, and I wouldn't even know it, right? And so I think it's a fantastic way to live. And I don't know, because here's the thing, everybody, listen closely. Whatever success you're going to have, even minimal success, if you're going to be slightly successful, you're going to have to work hard. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be the bearer of terrible news. You're going to have to put the time and energy in. Why? Because everything is one thing. What is it? Everything is energy. Yes or yes, right? Yes. And so you're going to have to put, so lots of money is what? Lots of energy. If you want lots of money, lots of energy, you got to put back to you got to put a lot of that energy out. So you're going to have to work hard, at least for the beginning time, until you learn how to leverage yourself. So that same amount of energy is going output, so you can bring in a lot of energy called money, right? But that energy is going to have to be put out there. So, the most important part of this is you and your mindset. And you've got to have a wealthy mindset. You have to have the desire and the commitment to succeed at the highest level. And when you succeed at the highest level, your reward is called lots of money. If you want lots of money, don't focus on money. You have to focus on what? Succeeding at the highest level, which in this case is what? Putting your product or service out to help a lot of people, not a little people. If you help a little amount of people, you're going to get a little amount of money. Everyone understand this? This is very straight arithmetic. If you help a lot of people, you're going to get a lot of money back. This is how you need to focus. Focus on helping a lot of people. So first thing is this mindset. You've got to clear your mindset of all the garbage. Everyone, here's what I believe. I believe everyone has the wherewithal to get rich. Everyone. I know that. I have 2.5 million, almost 3 million students. So many of them, even people that when I was in the seminars live and I met them went, oh, wow. I mean, maybe not everyone can do this, right? But to some level, if they keep it simple to their one little thing that they do really well and they get really good at, and they learn how to do the principles of business that we teach and the principles of marketing, anybody can do this, okay? But you have to have the right mindset and you have to have some confidence, because confidence means I'm willing to take action and go for it. So that's the first thing. You got to have the winner's mindset. You got to be willing to go for it, right? You can't have all this garbage around your beliefs around money and success. I don't deserve it. Rich people are bad. Money corrupts people. That is all complete bullshit. It's complete crap. It's propagated by broke people. And you know my favorite saying, Jess, if you want to get rich, don't listen to broke people. They can only teach you how to be broke. You understand that? You'll model how to be broke. Yeah, but all my friends are broke. Well, make sure you got some additional friends. Be with them for dinner and when you go to dinner with them, open your mouth and plug your ears, okay? You don't want to hear from those people. They're broke for a reason. And they're broke because of the way they think. So that's number one. Number two is making sure that vehicle you have, what problem you're solving for people really is pertinent to you. It has to fit who you are. Jess, the biggest mistake that I made for 10 years of my life, a decade, when I was completely broke, literally, as you know, destitute, like if I had $5, I'd have to choose whether I'm going to eat dinner that night or put some gas in my car for the next day to try to get around and make any money. I was totally broke, as you know, living in your grandparents' little condominium. And I was the youngest person in that community by like 75 years. Okay. That was my life and it sucked. And so, what was the mistake I made? Here's what I was sure this was right. And tell me you know, you've heard me talk about this many times, but all the people online, this is the way a lot of them think. It's like, if I get into the right car, in a race car, if I get in the right car, the right vehicle, then I'm going to go fast and I'm going to get rich, right? You can't have a jalopy. You got to have a race car. So all I was looking for was the right vehicle. Just get me into a vehicle that makes money. How did I know that? I would read magazines, and there wasn't online stuff at that point in time, but newspapers, article, all these things about other other people using vehicles that are doing well. So I would just jump into that vehicle, you know, coupon books, jewelry, pen watches, all kinds of different things that I would get into because other people were doing well with it. But here's the problem. They did. I didn't. It was like, what on earth is going on here? Why are they getting rich and I'm going more and more broke with the same vehicle? Here's why. Because the shoe didn't fit. And you know, in our seminar, one of the processes we give people, especially when it used to be live, and I still think it's on the online version, is I would have people say, okay, find a partner, okay? And I want you to take your shoes off. And now I want you to switch shoes. I want you to stand up and walk in your partner's shoes. And then they'd be laughing, go, how does that feel? Now they wouldn't laugh anymore because feet would be killing them. They couldn't even stand up. Too big, too small, couldn't walk. Why? They're perfect for that person. But they don't fit you. My friends, you need to care about what problem you are solving for people. One of the things I'm very proud about Jesse is that he really, 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 hopefully like myself, cares about the students. And all we talk about is what's going on for the students. What do they need? What's their next step? What's their next move? Okay. If they're not rich yet, they don't need to think about diversifying their portfolio. That's not even in the world yet. Okay. First, start making 100 grand a year. What do you need to do that? Then how do you go from 100 to four or 500,000 a year? And then how do you go to $1 million a year? All right. Those are progressions. But it all comes from what do they need? You got to care about what you're offering. It's got to resonate with you. And because I was so broke, and I know what it feels like to be broke and try your hardest and nothing works, that's why I believe I can resonate with our students. Because I know for a lot of them, they're like, what the hell? Like, I'm trying my hardest and it's just not working as to the extent that I wanted to. And what do I do? I was there. I know that. And I know how sucky that feels. And so because I've gone through all the steps and I learned so many things that does not work, that almost everybody does. Again, the mindset that's broken, the getting in the wrong vehicle, the not taking the time and energy to learn the skills, especially the base foundational skills. I call them the laws of business. There are laws of business that must be followed. And people today, one of the things a lot of people today, Jess, that are happening, you know, a lot of younger people are going, it's a new world. You know, it's social media world. It's this world. It's that world. It's not the same as it was. Excuse my language, complete bullshit. Listen, that's like saying, you know what I watch people floundering around as if they're riding a bicycle with square wheels. It's like, excuse me, I know the bike looks different today, but you're riding on square wheels. That's why it's not going very smoothly. There's a law of bicycles. The wheels need to be round. I don't care if it's on the internet, social media, Facebook, Instagram, newspaper, right? I don't care. It needs to be round. You understand? That's a law in the Bible. That's what they're doing. Oh, I'm just going to be, you still have to follow the round wheel principle. There are several principles, incredibly important, that must be followed. It doesn't matter about the format. You know why? Because it's psychology. Psychology doesn't really change like one iota. So you've got to be able to get the knowledge, know the knowledge that not only works in today's world, but in all worlds, business principles that work all the time, everywhere. And then finally, is the last thing is the action piece. I think there's still way too many people, especially in this day and age with, a lot of anxiety going on, not just because of the epidemic and all that, but the pandemic, but just in general, a lot of younger people, especially and middle, they have a lot of anxiety. And there's reasons for that. I'm working on a project like that. Like, that now, Jess, is about anxiety and inner peace and what to do about it from a completely different angle. But I think that the online world is amazing, but it's created a lot of anxiety. Why? Listen closely, everyone. And if you agree, you agree. And if you don't, you don't. I get it. But here's why. I studied with a Zen master for many, many, many years, and I still do. All right. She is my guru. And she's not an Indian guru. She's an American Zen monk, and brilliant, but very, very today. And one of the things that she writes in her books is it's printed, but it's all handwritten. And what she taught me was this, and this is why when I teach, I still use a flip chart and I write on it with my hand. Here's why. Because digital writing, screens printed is read with the head, but handwriting is read with the heart. And the seat of true intelligence and wisdom is in the heart, not the head. The head is more of a survival mechanism, and it's a memory, it's a file bank for keeping you alive. That's about it, right? The cerebral cortex on the higher parts of it have processed to a little greater extent, but you're still dealing with a lot of memory stuff. The heart is where the action is, okay? That's where your true intuition and intelligence, your true wisdom comes from, your connection. And so when people are into the digital world all the time, their phone, they're in their head all the time. I guarantee you're in your head, you're in subconscious survival mode. There's no wonder you're anxious, fear-based. Oh my God. And everything's moving at the speed of light. What should I look at next? What should I look at next? It's crazy. So you've got to be able to handle that. And you got to be able to take action in spite of all that. And that's just one of the things I'm very proud of you about is, you've been able to balance, you meditate, you spend time with your family, you spend time walking away from your computer, away from your phone to get to think, try to be in nature a little bit. But my friends, you've got to take a little bit of a detox from that digital world. I'd say at least an hour a day, but you do what you want. All I can tell you is the more you do of that, the more anxious you will be. I don't care if you're laughing on some meme. It doesn't matter. That's not going to handle it. You're in your head. That's the problem.
True. Very true. So all my iPad drawings, everyone, was not effective for the heart.
No, it was because remember, I saw that. And remember, you had circles.
Yeah.
We talked about this. The lines are for the mind. The circles are for the heart.
Yeah.
Lines are left brain. Circles are right brain.
Love that.
Everybody, when you think about your clients, half of them will be left brain oriented, half will be right brain oriented.
Very much.
To both all the time. And you can
I made that adjustment on day 2. So I'm happy with that one. Okay. So thank you for that answer, obviously. So just to recap, right vehicle, right knowledge, and then action. Make sure we all got that down. So that's really important. And I'm really lucky right now because I got my dad on here, so I can relate to him on a different level. And one of the things that I have the opportunity to do, because he knows me and from a different perspective as a coach and a mentor, is I can ask him a personal question that I think is going to hopefully be transparent for you guys that, it doesn't matter what level you are, where you're going, or what you're trying to do. Everyone makes certain mistakes. Everyone has certain challenges. Everyone has certain quirks that they do, and that could potentially stop them from achieving what they say they want. And that's the most important thing right here is that when someone says they want something, but the actions that they take are different or what they're doing is different, it's important to at least be aware of that and objectively look at that and say, is that going to stop me or hurt me? Or is it something that I can just ignore and keep pushing forward? So I'm going to ask you, Dad, Harv, what is the biggest mistake you've seen me make as a business owner and the things that I'm doing either before or right now in business?
Well, again, I think as my son, you're perfect already, right? Um, I think originally there were some things that have been corrected for sure. Um, but I think that one of the biggest things was, when I see the emails come out, etc. Um, I'm a big stickler for details. Everybody, details are important. Why? Because they're your image. So when I see a typo in an email that goes out to the public, it drives me crazy. When I see and when I see a subject line that doesn't match what's in the body for whatever reason, I know it is because, well, the subject line tested better, so we did that, but then you needed to change the body. Why? Because, listen, everybody, two things about the mind. Number one, it doesn't like to be confused. And number two, because it's a survival mechanism, it scours for things that are wrong or could go wrong. It's looking for what could go wrong. What's wrong, and that's its favorite words, or what's wrong with this, right? What could go wrong with this? So it's looking for that. It'll pick it out in a heartbeat. And when you claim to be at a certain level and you want people to follow you, typos are not acceptable. And subject lines that don't match the body are not acceptable. And not in a harsh way. It's like, oh my God, no. It's just that needs to be corrected. We don't do that. That's not the level we work at. And so it's not about being a perfectionist. It's about understanding that your clients are looking at you as a model, and you don't need to be perfect. And if you make a bad, you say, then my bad. Sorry, they want you to be authentic. We can talk about that. But so being careful, being precise, read over your work. Do not let shit out. Okay? No, doesn't work. No, we don't want to do that. So originally, it was a little bit of carelessness, I would say. We talked about that many, many times, and that's just to a whimper now. It's like it doesn't really happen. And then I think the other thing, but like I said, the other thing was at the beginning, for the first several years in the online world, I was the creator of the courses. I was the creator of the webinars. I was the creator of the offers. I was a creator. And you were more administrating that and operating that and then getting more in the marketing of that, et cetera. Everyone, as I said to Jess, I said, I didn't want to say anything too loudly because you're doing such a great job on that stuff. I said, in the end, when this is more yours, you're going to need to be creative. So being willing to be creative, new ideas, unique things, testing things, trying things. And now, as you can see, everybody, Jesse is only recently, as you can see, started to create content, packaging his own content, creating content, coming up with ideas, principles, et cetera, putting those together for you, et cetera, et cetera. And it's fantastic. He did his first one day a little while ago, and I listened to the whole thing. And I was in shock. I have to be not because I didn't know he had that in him. I never saw it before. The way that the creativity of the slides, of the music, like right out of the live seminar world, and which I know how creative you have to be. So he was creative, and he is creative, and I think earlier, Jess, I think if I had to say something now, I think when you said blocks, things that people are not doing, not taking the actions, it's always because of fear. Everyone is creative. And it doesn't mean you have to be an artist. I'm not talking about creative, but creative in looking at the problems that your clients have and creating solutions for them, because you know more than they do in that arena. That's why you're there to help them. So, and you come from a different place. That's why you can help them. So you've got to overcome that. I think for Jesse was, I don't want to get stuck on a stage like you did, Dad, traveling around the world on a plane, 300 days a year and working from 6 a.m. till 2 a.m. every day, literally for 23 years. I don't want to do that. I want to work out of my. So it was like, I don't want to do that. I'm afraid to do that. I'm afraid to get sucked into that. So I'm not going to do it. But here's the thing, everybody. One of the things I always say to everyone is that you could do pretty well anything Just do it in your way. So Jesse's an online guy for the most part. And now he's found a way to do similar and very similar things, but online. Okay. And with Zoom, of course, it's become a lot easier. So, it's the same with anything else. You put your style and energy into it, but there's a way to do it that does resonate with you. Don't just block it and say, I'm not that kind of person. I can't do that. No, I'm going to say something, Jess, and I hope everybody can write this down or whatever. My friends, listen close. The biggest, the most important thing you have to get out of this whole conversation with me or with Jesse or with both of us is it's not about you. It's not about you. You're not paying you, are you? Are you taking your money from one pocket and putting it in another pocket? Is that how you're going to get rich? I don't think so. None of this is about you. The most important thing you have to understand is it's about them. It's about your clients. It's about your customers. It's about, as Jesse calls it now, your tribe. It's all about them. This is very simple stuff. If you put your focus and attention, them. How can I help them? How can I help them? How can I help them? That is the name of the game. Okay? It's not about the color, and it's not about the this, and it's not about this, and the finances. No! Go out there and help a lot of people.
That brings up, so thank you for that. I appreciate that. Woo! That was awesome. Thank you. That brings up one of the biggest lessons that I learned from you that I'd like to share with everyone. When I was really nervous about doing any videos or talking to people or going to groups, I think one of the best pieces of guidance you ever gave me that I've shared with a lot of students, but that I would like to share with everyone that hasn't had it, is you said, stop thinking about yourself and start thinking about the one person you're going to help. Just think about one person you're going to be able to help in that audience. And that will take at least the mind frick out of yourself and start putting you into a service mode, which then starts getting you out of your head and into actually teaching and doing. And I think that just goes a follow up really, really well with what you just said there, because so many of us get behind the camera right now. I'm behind the camera and freak out. We go blank because we're thinking about ourselves. We're only thinking about, how do I look? Am I going to be rejected? Are people going to think about me differently? What if I screw up? What if I don't say that? And that's not what we're saying right now. We're saying that you got to get out of your own head. You got to think about your tribe, the people that you're actually helping. And that's the easiest and fastest way to overcome fear right away, like instantly. I love that lesson. That was really good. Appreciate that. Okay. So how many of you think that Harv is charismatic and passionate and confident when he's teaching, right? Let me see it in the comments. Let me see that. The top, very passionate. Charlotte says the top. Absolutely. Yes. Really, really passionate. Okay. I got lots of people on Facebook too. 100%, Izzy says. So Harv, here's a question for you. A lot of people are not like you, right? They're not as confident. They're not as passionate. They're not as charismatic. They maybe are introverts, right? They're not as good as talking. Maybe, you have a lot of experience and maybe they're not as strong on the English language, whatever it is. So my question is for you is, in today's market, because it's most important, relevant today in the world of like social media and all of that stuff, do you think not having these qualities puts someone at a disadvantage when they are trying to promote their business or market their business or just do types of videos and stuff like that? So what do you suggest for someone who's kind of like the introvert or maybe doesn't have these traits or qualities yet?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, I think there's the misconception and the myth that you have to be perfect. You have to look amazing. You have to speak amazing. You have to be charismatic. You have to listen. If you're playing a role in a movie and that's what's called for, then that person has to do that. But that's not what this is about. We just talked about it. It's simply people are not buying necessarily, your charisma. They're buying the solving of their problem. They don't give a shit about you. Okay. This is really simple. They don't care. All they care about is, can you help me? Boom. Now, one of the big things we teach in our trainer program, and we've taught for many decades, is that authenticity, what's the word? Authenticity is 1,000 times more important and more effective than perfection. So authenticity, just be yourself. You want to be the best of yourself. I mean, there's many of myselfs right now. Like right now, I could be myself as in, oh, I'm thinking about that and this, and I could be, this is myself too, but not when I'm going to be on a Zoom call and try to help people. That doesn't really help them, right? So, hi. So, just being yourself. And here's the thing. So authenticity. Two reasons. Number one, this is important, everybody. If you can write it down, write it down. Authenticity. Two reasons. Number one, what's the reason people buy from you? Because you can help them. However, they have to know you can help them. So what's the reason they buy from you? It's the T word. The T word is the most important word in the business dictionary. And the T word stands for what, everybody? Trust. They have to trust you. And when you are authentic and you're not trying to put on any, I'm not this, people, if you're inauthentic, not authentic, people, they smell that. They smell that on you. And they don't trust you anymore, right? But when you're authentic and you got nothing to hide, and you say, listen, this is the way I am. This is what happened for me. I was 40 pounds overweight. My husband left me. My dog left me. I couldn't exercise anymore because of that. I spiraled. I was depressed. I lost my job. Finally, something clicked. I got this motivation, a certain motivation from a certain way. I ended up using a very specific method of losing the weight in a healthy manner. It's been the first time I was able to keep it off, help it off. And I'm down 36 pounds. I got a few more pounds to go, but I think I can help you because I was in your position and it sucked. And this is what's working for me. Would you like to know what it is? Well, where's the show? You don't need a show. Here's my 4 pounds left to go, okay? This is the picture of what I looked like. There's no show here. Now, that's so authenticity. Now, here's the second thing is, this is a little secret that most people don't recognize, but recognize this, everyone. That's why I asked you at the beginning, how do you want me to be? Your tribe, which is, by the way, the most important part of this, remember we talked about it's them. You're identifying them, gathering them to you, supporting them. It's them, your tribe. The tribe you get will resonate with you or not. You're not going to have people that don't like my style, especially if I really get into it and I'm swearing like a truck driver or whatever. They're not going to like me. And you know what? They're going to go, that guy's way too harsh, way too loud. I don't like his style. They're gone. They're going to Eckhart Tolle. They're going to Deepak Chopra, right? Mwah! I love both of those guys. Go with my blessing. You want to learn from them, learn from them, learn what you can learn from them, learn from me what you can learn from me. If you don't like you can go there. You're not going to attract, when you're a person who's, let's say, just really calm and chill and you just, just yourself and, let's say this is the way you talk and, don't even, it's just very normal. And you're not going to attract people who like that. Those people aren't coming to you. I'm sorry. Well, I'm going to miss out on them. There's 7 billion people in the world. You cannot get all of them anyways. You can't even get barely one. Why don't we start with their first 1,000 or 2? Let's get those here. But they will resonate with you automatically. It's like talk about Deepak, and we talk a lot about, doing your life direction, your right purpose and everything. What he says is that it's like life is a jigsaw puzzle, and you have your piece to put in that puzzle. And only you can fit in that puzzle to make that puzzle whole, right? But it's the way you are. and you are going to resonate with certain people, and other people you're not going to resonate with. And it doesn't matter because you're never going to get all of them anyways. You're only trying for a small segment. The goal is to be, as we talk about Jess all the time, the goal is in business is to be the big fish in a little pond. The big fish in a little pond, everybody. Don't try to be the little fish, the little minnow in a big ocean. You will get swallowed up. Do you understand that? So it's all about authenticity. Don't try to be something that you're not. There's so many social media and different methods of mediums now to put your message across. Use the one that you feel the most comfortable with to start. Maybe later on, you'll get more on the Zoom and on the Instagram. Secondly, you can always leverage yourself. Like, I don't think I need to tell everybody, like, when I have the kind of databases that I do and the busyness that I have, my least effective time is spent, bolstering my numbers online, on my Facebook. And I have people doing that for me, okay? Sure, I give them input. Hey, here, put this on or check this out or whatever. But there's people that do this all day long. You don't have to spend a lot. Say, I'm going to hire you for 20 minutes a day to do my Facebook stuff, and I'll do a little Facebook myself, right? You can hire that. You don't have to be the one on Instagram and do it. You can hire that. And then the last thing about that is, how hard is it to be on Facebook or any social media and find quotes that pertain to your audience and help them, and find articles that pertain to your audience and help them, and find funny jokes that pertain to your articles and help them. You don't have to show yourself. You don't have to teach anything. You're just there to help people. As Jesse said earlier, get your mind off of you and put it onto your tribe, and everything will be okay.
Love it. That's great. That's a good one. Everyone's got lots of notes there, and we covered some of that stuff during the 5-day challenge. So you can see how aligned we are, or how aligned I am with him and how well I've learned from him, right? All right. So let's go to this one. I want to jump one question here and go to a one that I think is going to be very relevant for so many people watching this right now. This one's really big. So let's say you were starting over. Yeah, I've seen this a lot through coronavirus ads. Like, a lot of people are doing this. So I really want to take your take on this. So you're starting over, no brand. You're starting as so we have the authority pathway that we've come up with that I've taught to the students. The first stage of the authority pathway is unknown. So no brand, you're unknown. What would you do in the first 90 days to get you up and running? What would you do differently today than it would be when you first were starting? But what would your first 90 days look like to succeed at whatever level you want to get into momentum to succeed?
I would have to say, I would start with the first things first. I've been trying to harp on this the entire time, so there's different ways of saying it. But I would say that the first thing has to be to build your database. If your job is to solve problems for people, what people, and can you reach those people, right? Everything else is very secondary. So you know what your product or service is approximately going to be, and that's going to be honed based on your database. But you've got to, people are the ones, no matter what, with money in their pockets, okay? Not raccoons, not cows, not stars, not the sun, not trees, only people. So it all starts with your people. So the first thing I would do is begin to build my database, to begin to build my client list, my tribe, okay? However you want to form it. Why? Okay, this is very, very important. And then, okay, so build my tribe. And then I would have, within the building of this tribe, I would seed my product or service. So I would better make sure that I'm building my tribe with information pertinent to them. Within that, I would say, and for those of you who are interested, we have a program coming up or a product coming up that will be launching in a little while. Please stay patient or stay tuned, or it's working on the final tweaks or whatever it is you want to say. So you're building your database with information that you're providing for people and methodology. and that's pertinent to that, the group that you want to attract. You're seeding, you're talking just a little bit about what's coming up. And then you do a countdown to a huge launch. And your launch might be 10 people, might be 100, might be 1,000, might be 10,000, okay? So whatever you got on your database. And so that way you have the most important thing first, which is your tribe, the people you're talking to. You're getting them ready to buy something, and then you're doing a big launch. I always taught people in our business programs, one of the biggest day you're ever going to have is your grand opening day, right? Big opening day. And to miss that is like, why would you miss that? I mean, like when in retail, grand opening days, I was in retail for a long time, and I had 10 different stores, and every time I opened the store, I had a grand opening, and that was always the biggest day in the history of the entire store. Why would I miss that? Well, today online, you have the launch. Why would you miss that? You make that your big thing, but you have to have people to talk to. So number one is you gotta have this database, and then you gotta seed it properly, and then you gotta do the launch. I've said, people have asked me many times. I have a friend whose birthday was yesterday. His name is Robert Allen. He wrote a book called Nothing Down Real Estate, and he also wrote a book called The Challenge, the original challenge. And he said, send me to any city with no money in my pocket, and I will buy an excellent piece of property within 90 days, okay? With no money, like zero, right? And he was able to do this over and over and over and over again. And, you know, and it all is so that it really depends on your mindset and understanding what you're there to do. But the most important principle here is that I want to make sure people get is you got to have that tribe, and you got to support them. And let me just back off to one more thing here, so people get the principles here that everybody can understand. Everyone, you need to understand this. There's a difference between earning a living in business. And by the way, you better be in business. If you want to get a job, you can do, but it's going to take you 30 years to get rich, okay? Earning a living in business and getting rich in business. And what is the difference? I wish I could get some answers here.
You can ask.
I'm asking everybody here. What's the difference, the biggest difference between earning a living in business, working hard and earning a living for literally 20 years or 10 years or whatever, and getting rich in business? What's the difference? There's one huge difference. Earning a living a certain amount, systemize, yeah, grow money, yes, yes. Oh, here it is. Write this down if you can. Listen, this is the underlying principle. In business, the headaches, the problems are in the front end, but the money, the wealth is in the back end. This is the big mistake everybody makes. Okay, so they're thinking about, you know, I got to sell my product to people, which is great, product, service, whatever it is. I got to get people in the fold, right? But to sell my product to. People say to me all the time, well, Harv, I'm having trouble with like being a trainer because I don't know what topic should I teach? I'm going, what topic should you teach? What program, what workshop should I teach? I'm going, okay, that is a person who's broke. That's a question from someone who's got a broke mind, okay? They're in business. Put an S on that, my friend. You're never gonna make it with one. Put an S on it. Here's the way it works. I don't know how much simpler I can make it like this, all right? This is your world right here. This is your business world. Your job is to get people to come into this circle. This is your, what I'm going to call COT. It's probably backwards, right?
No, it's good. Zoom is good. Zoom's
circle of trust. What's the words, everybody? Circle of trust. What's the most important word in business? Trust, right? The problems are, the hard part is getting them into your circle. The easy part and the rich part is, what do you sell them when they're in your circle? Original product, more support for them, headaches, wealth. This is where the money is. And people forget about that. They go like, well, I have my course. You have your course? What course? This course? Right. Boo. You're never going to make any money. You need this just to get them in. Once they're in, now, how do I help all these people on an ongoing basis? What do I do? What do I give them? Even if I can't create it myself, one of the things Jesse always is enthralled with the business that I was in or still in is that how did you write 19 programs? I go, well, like I wrote like 7 or 8 of them that were all mine, all my material. But when I was, let's say, in the business, in let's say the marketing program, I would go, okay, what's the next thing for these people? Like right in the program, I say to myself, what these people are going to come here, they're going to learn marketing. What's their next step? And going, you know what? I've really been learning a lot about influence, negotiation, psychological influence, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to create a program called Master of Influence. Harv, what do you know about influence? A little bit, not so much. Expert? No. But they need it. What are you going to do? Oh, I'm not the expert, but I got 3 books on my bookshelf right now that one's called Influence, one's called The Influencer, one's called The World's Greatest Negotiator, one's called Reading Faces for, blah, blah, one's called and Body Language. Going, why do I need to be the expert? I will just get those experts, bring them into this course, and let them teach them. Why do I don't need to be the star of everything? And neither do you, because it's not about you. It's not about me. It is only about them right there. Business is so simple. Get them in your circle, treat them like gold, and offer them more support for their problem. How simple is this?
That actually goes with my next question, which is really great. It's really awesome. So your rule, wealth rule number 1, no limits on your income. Okay. Which, being in business supposedly gives us that opportunity of no limits on your income. What I've found in my short time of working online and now with a lot of different business owners, and what you've definitely found, is that when people get into business, they put limits on their income because of how they get into business and how they decide to move forward with their business. They make the business around them, so they have to be in the business. So what suggestions do you have for someone who has created these self-imposed limits on their business for how to grow their business, because now they're limited and now they're probably more stressed out than ever?
Well, you really hit on a huge problem for people, because this is the average person, okay? Especially in other parts of the world, like everywhere, okay? The average person, when they're young, their parents say to them, this is what the average person's parents say to them. They turn 14, 15, 16, 17, whatever. You go to your parents for money. Finally, at one point, what do your parents say to you? I'm done giving you money. Go get a what?
Job.
Go get a job. Hardly any parents say, at 16, I'm done giving you money. Go start a business. Nobody says that. So the mentality of the world, the mentality of governments, what do governments talk about all day long? Job numbers, job numbers, job numbers, job numbers, unemployment, 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 jobs, employees, employers, and jobs, and jobs, and jobs, and jobs, and jobs. F jobs, okay? There's no money in a job. A job is good for learning how to have your own business one day. Great, it's a learning tool. You're not gonna get rich. You can get rich. You can do well with a job. It's going to take a long time, and you better save your ass off, and you better be the CEO to make some serious money. And here's the thing I don't like about job is you're limited. First of all, someone else is in charge of your income. Holy shit. I mean, do you want someone in charge of your how much you eat in a day or your breathing? What? Someone else is going to be in charge of my income. I'm going to give you a raise or not. I would be vomiting all day long. I am unemployable. What does that mean? Not that I can't work for, I cannot work for other people, because that's how I think. This is why I want to get people to get. It's the mindset first. So people, why am I bringing this up? Because people go, you know what? I don't want to have a job working for other people. So what do? They replace the job with their own job. So they still say I'm employed, but now I want to be self-employed. No, you don't, because employed still means you're an employee, and now you're an employee of the worst boss possible. You, okay? Don't want that, okay? So here's the thing. What people do is they go, instead of a job, I'm going to open up this business. No, the reference is wrong. I'm going to work for myself. No. Get that out of your head. Like, pull it out, blah, barf it out. No job. I'm not working for myself. None of that shit, okay? I'm starting a business. Oh, completely different. You're not replacing a job with working for yourself. No, that's gone. You are starting a business. A business is an entity onto itself, which provides a products and services to a specific group of customers and people, okay? It's an entity to itself, all right? And so this means that you are going to grow this entity. It isn't a job, okay? It is a business. It's a separate thing completely than you. When the most important thing is that people who stay broke are always they work based on time, or they have to be there for their product or service to be delivered. That's a job. It's a job. You have not grown a business. You've created another job for yourself. Just because you own that entity or whatever you want to call it, you're the one in it. You still have a job. All right. So no jobs. Forget that stuff. You have a separate thing called a business. This business provides people with a certain product and service, and that's what it does. It is not you. You are not the business. It is not you. Your job is to start and develop and grow and expand this business in order for it, not you, it to help more and more and more and more and more people. See, if it's you, it's very hard for you to duplicate. It's also very hard for you to systemize, because you have to do everything. So the two critical words here are, number one, you have to systemize the business. What does that mean? Everybody write this down. Systemize my business so that it works without me. If the business needs you for it to work, it's not a business, it's a job. Well, I don't understand. What do you mean? How can it work without me? I am right. You are, here's the word, broke. And you'll always be broke, because that's the way you think. It's not about you. The business is going to provide this service. So even though McDonald's, we all know McDonald's, you use that. McDonald's started with, Ray Kroc and whatever, with the McDonald brothers. But the good thing was Ray Kroc. You ever hear of Ray Kroc? How come it doesn't say Ray Kroc's hamburgers? It says McDonald's. That was the first. They were the McDonald's brothers. He bought the rights. He gave them a little piece of the action, and now he took it over. But you never hear Ray Kroc. Who cares? It's called Amazon. It's not called Jeff Bezos. But Jeff Bezos, they say, in 6 years will become the world's first trillionaire. Okay, trillionaire, because he's building Amazon, not Jeff Bezos' company. Nobody gives a shit about Jeff Bezos. He's building this delivery shipping company. This allows you to systemize. So it must systemize. So every part of the business, let's be clear about this. 3 parts to a business, everyone: product production, operations, administration, finance, and marketing and sales. Product production, operations, administration, finance, and marketing and sales. Only 3 things. Got it? Those 3 things must be systemized for all of them to work without you. Does that happen on day one? No, not for me, it didn't. You start off usually as the president of the company and the janitor of the company, right? But that's what you do all day, every day, is create things that begin to work in an arena, in one of those arenas, and then systemize those things to work without you so you can move to another arena. Jess, what was it, 3-4 years ago, we were at the house, we were having our annual meeting, right? And one of the things you were saying is that Jen was working with you, his wife Jen, and saying, like, we're so swamped, we can't, we say, okay, this year we want to do this, and this. We can't. Why? Because we still have to, maintain our day-to-day there. And we're so busy there. We're working 15 hours a day and going, then you're working wrong. You can't how can you expand to this if you haven't leveraged this? Time to leverage, time to say, but that means we have to hire people. Okay, that means you start hiring one people and train that person right. And then, 6 months later, it's another people. And then we need to change our systems so that they can get us this without that. And listen, if I had I don't mean to be rude, but everyone, I want you to do this, okay? I know it's not politically correct, and I don't care, okay? But if you don't want to do it, don't do it, okay? My students do it, but take this as if it's a gun. Put it to your head, okay? You are not allowed to work in for 6 months. You can't go in. You can't. Next week, you have 1 week. I'm going to give you 30 days. You have 1 month, 30 days from now, you can't go into your business for 6 months. You can't look at it, but it still has to be there. And it still has to make money, and it has to grow. How are you going to do it? If you don't do it, it's over. It's forced. You've got to do it. You have 30 days to be out of your business. How are you going to do it? You're going to go, well, I have to get everything here working without me. Yeah. And the good news is that once you do that, now you can leverage. Now you can duplicate. Now you can grow. Because when you're the cog in the wheel, you're the clog in the wheel. You're the stopper. You're the blocker. You're the one, because everything has to go through you, and you're limited as a human being to 24 hours a day. You're the one blocking complete growth. You're the one blocking Amazon from going from one little van that you were driving, Jeff Bezos driving, not that he wasn't, driving a little van, okay, delivering packages to his Aunt Ethel and his Uncle Jack, okay? Starts like that. But look at it today. How did it happen? Because Jeff Bezos isn't driving the van anymore. Stop it. Grow the business, not more job for you. Get out of it. You must relieve yourself from all duties. You must substitute yourself. Get yourself out of it. You do that, next move is grow. Next move is rich. And why do you do that? Simple. You do that so you can help more people, right? Because only if you're involved, you can help, 10 people a day. But if you're not involved and it's leveraged and everything can work without you and doesn't need you, then you can help 100, 200, 500, 1,000. Here's a simple question. Mathematics, everybody. If you make $10 from every transaction, and you help 10 people a day, how much do you earn a day? $100, okay? Let's say you help 1,000 people and you make $10, okay? How much you make in those days? $10,000, right? How many of you would rather make 10,000 a day than 100 a day? How do you do that? Can you help 1,000 people a day? No, why? Because it all has to go through you. You're over. Driving the little van to Aunt Ethel to give her a little package. That's smart. That's good. Yes, on day one, it's good. On year two, it's not good anymore. You understand where I'm coming from? A business is not a replacement for a job. Lose that vocabulary. Lose that mindset. You're not earning a living. You're not trying to, replace a job. You're not self-employed. None of that. Water company, water. I'm starting a company that sells water. I need to have great water, great packaging, great marketing. Boom. What does that have to do with me? Nothing.
Huge. That was massive. So many reminders for myself, not just myself in general, but a lot of comments coming in. Like I think someone said they're changing their business model as they were listening to what you were saying. So good. That was massive.
Said something here that I want to. Where was it here? Because they had it really well. Yeah, Michelle Davis. So she says the exit strategy, right? So I have several books: Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, The Good Millionaire, Speed Wealth, How to Make $1 million in 3 years or less. How to become a millionaire in 3 years or less, starting your own business. Would anybody like to do that? 3 years or less, starting your own business, millionaire, multimillionaire? Very challenging as strictly you're part of the business. The people get really, 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 really rich in their business. They don't own their business anymore. They sold their business. That's the goal. I want everybody right now to be thinking in your mind, you're going to build this business to sell this business. The goal of building the business is to sell the business. You can't do that with you as a part of the business. Nobody wants it. That starts even with your name. Harv Eker's blah, blah, blah. Are you stupid? No one's buying Harv Eker's anything company. Who would do that? Do you want to buy Joe Smith's company? Joe Smith massage studios. If you're not Joe Smith, you don't want that. You want, Results Everyday Massage Studios or whatever it is, or Pain Relief Massage Studio, something generic that someone will buy. So I want everybody from this moment on to be thinking in your head, you are going to sell your business. Why? Because whether you do or you don't, that's going to be up to you later. Yes? You want that choice, yes or yes? How many want the choice to be able to sell your business for millions and millions and millions of dollars? You want the choice, yes? So if you know you're going to sell your business, what's the most important part of that is you will need to set the business up in such a way where it can be sold. And to be sold, it has to work without you. So it's not going to be day one. It might not be month one or even year one, but over the term of your business, and I say 3 years, you set your business up in such a way where it can be sold. Then you have a choice. And in order to do that, it has to work without you. And if you're creating it for it to work without you, guess what you have to do? You have to systemize. And if you systemize, you will do well in business no matter what. Even if you don't sell it, because you systemize to work without you, now you're not limited anymore. Think in your mind. The way to do business is write this down, everybody. I start a business to sell the business. Write it. I start a business to sell the business. Everything will be good if you do that.
Amazing. That was huge. Lots of big things there. One big thing that I want to make sure that I just highlight really fast that no one starts freaking out is it is a process, right? It doesn't have to be from day one. So I know a lot of you are doing your businesses based off your life experiences, what you've gone through, the journey. That's totally fine. Harv did the exact same thing, but he then learned about systemizing it. He set up his business from the beginning so that he scripted everything so that people could start to learn what he was doing. He put himself in this mindset of one day I'm going to sell this business. So don't be freaking out.
Yes, when you start, you are the head president and you are the head janitor. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
That's a good thing because when you're the janitor, you learn how to do the janitor work. Now you can teach somebody else how to do it the way you want it.
Totally. 100%. Okay, cool. So I know we're a little bit over. I have a couple more questions. Yeah. Would everyone on the line be okay if I ask a few more questions? You guys going to be okay with that? Yeah. Can we over deliver for you guys? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I got a couple more questions. I think they're going to be really awesome. Actually, I know they're going to be awesome. So some people are at this point where they're like, I want to grow my business. I'm ready to grow it. I want to start to the trending word right now is scale it, right? So when do you feel like someone is ready to step on the gas in their business? Is there a specific income they should be earning? Is there a specific time? Like, what is that where you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. Let's do this. Like, what is that? Is there a threshold? Like, do you feel like there's a certain time?
Yeah, absolutely. There's only one time, only one time. Okay. As you know, your grandfather, my dad used to always say, when the way is clear, you got to step on the gas. All right. When the way is clear. What does way is clear mean? There's only one. It's not a certain amount of money. It's not a certain amount of time. It's only one thing. We talked about it before. This is critical. Everybody write this now. When all the parts of your business are systemized and working well without you, they actually work, right? Then it's time to grow. Why would you grow something that doesn't work? Hello? There's three parts: product production, right? Operations and marketing. So three systems: your product production system, your operations system, and your marketing system. All three of those things must be working. Why would you grow? Listen, all of these things are also in process too, and it will always be in process. Let's take marketing, because that obviously is the most important one. We always say 80% of your success is going to be in the marketing side. So in marketing, how many of you, be honest, have a marketing system in place right now in your business whereby you know for a fact that if you spend $1, it's whatever you're doing will bring back for certain $3, $5, $10 for every dollar you spend? You know it. When you put this ad in, this Facebook ad in, this thing here, whatever, that it returns this every time. And the answer for 99% of the people is, well, I wish. No, my marketing's haphazard. It works. It doesn't work. I'm not sure. Sometimes this happens. I don't know. I don't know. Right? You're not ready to grow. You're not ready. How's that for simple? Because you don't have a marketing system that works. And that's the most important one that has to work. All right. So remind me, Jesse, to talk about the two marketing systems, inbound and in the circle. Okay. So we'll go back to that. So you got to have a marketing system. You have to hone your marketing. For example, I'm just using this one. Hone your marketing so that when you spend $1, you get back $3, $5, $10 every single time. Now, I will say right now, it's a process and it will change, right? Because what brings back $5 today may not bring back $5, 6 months from now. That's why you're always working on marketing, trying, testing, creating new avenues, new methods, new copy. Always. Because what works today, 6 months from now, may not be working. How many of you have found that already? Yeah. It's like it's always on ongoing process. But the basic system needs to work, okay? So once you have a basic system, now you have a cookie that tastes good. All the ingredients are there. You've now got a cookie that tastes good. It looks like this, okay? This is what your cookie looks like. Oh, let's make it a heart cookie. All right, there it is. So now you have a cookie and it tastes good. All systems go. All systems are working. Now you can do what? Step on the gas. How do you step on the gas? By using the cookie cutter. Now the system is the cookie cutter, right? This is the way everything works. And now you go stamp, 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 stamp for the next half hour. Stamp. And all of these are your cookies. Now you have lots of cookies that you can bake and you can deliver. Okay, because you know what a good cookie tastes like and feels like, and your customers want that, and it works. It works. All you have to say is, do all the parts of my business work, and do they work without me? Because here's the thing: if you have to be there for that part of it to work, when you grow, it'll get blocked. It'll get stopped. Here's you. You want the business to grow. Business is going to grow. Here's you. Business is going to grow, right? What's wrong? What's wrong? What happened here? You're in the way. That's what happened. Okay. So all systems, think about every part of your business and systemizing everyone do this. Write down every single thing that has to happen in your business on a daily basis, weekly basis. It doesn't matter. I want your list on their computer, whatever it is. If it was a page, it would be like 5 pages long. List. Every single action, every single procedure, every single thing that happens in my business. First, I call this. Then I got to put the ads in, do Facebook. I got to write those ads. I got to do this. Then I got to draw this. And I got to do my database. I got to do that all day long. What do you do all day? Okay. All the things you do, write that list. Then put a chart and put a check mark for everything you're doing right now. And all those things and end up have to be not you. These are the things I do. These are the things other people do. This is the things technology do. Me, other people, technology, right? On each of that, for each of the list. Then what you're going to do, very simple, is you're going to say, all the things that I do need to be replaced. I need to replace myself in all of them. When you have a list and all those things, none of them say you, time to grow.
Right.
Step on the gas.
And for everyone who joined Build Your Ultimate Tribe, we actually created something called the Activity Tracker, which actually specifically goes deeper into what Harv just talked about there, about looking at it. That's part of the delegate and elevate bonus that you get, and the GRSD method. So again, that's part of Build Your Ultimate Tribe. Lots of things that actually Harv is talking about today, we are covering in Build Your Tribe into details, tactical, get in there and actually implement. So I'm glad you're covering a lot of stuff that.
Yeah, but I just want to make sure we emphasize that, because I think people want it to be simple, right? They want it to be workable. And again, you asked me how I would start again. The same way I started the first time. I have time for a quick story. I think it'll change people's lives, actually.
Yeah, go for it. Totally.
So when I was starting in when I did my, I had fitness stores, a chain of fitness stores I ended up selling to H.A. Heinz Corporation. And then what happened was I had struggled for so many years and I was doing the wrong things. I thought I was doing the right things, but turns out that they were the wrong things. So people started asking me, like, how did you get like rich all of a sudden? You were the broke guy. I said, well, this is what I was doing when I was broke, doing and thinking, and the business principles I was using. And this is what I did to get, become a multimillionaire. And they're radically different. See, I thought I was doing the right things. I was doing the wrong things, right? So I just started telling you, this is what I did. It didn't work. This is what I did that did work. And so, from there on, I said, so many people are asking me, because how did you go from a jalopy to like you have a gorgeous house and a car? How did that happen? I started telling them. So they said, oh, wow, that's so different. I said, yeah. So I started, okay, you should teach this. So I started thinking, okay, maybe I should help people by training them. I never thought I'd be a trainer teacher. I was the person nervous as hell in school to raise my hand even. I didn't want to do that. But I said, I can help you. I hate seeing them suffer like this. So I did. So I said, you know what? I'm going to write a book. And then people are going to read the book and they'll know and blah, 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 blah. And then maybe from there, I might do some seminars or whatever. Okay, so I like seminars. And I'm walking on the seawall, actually. I'm walking, and I'm kind of like in my thought process about the book. But I go, like, if nobody reads the book, how is that going to help? Like, nobody knows you. Nobody knows you. Nobody ever heard of Harv Eker. Why would they read your book? At the time, there were 30,000 books a month being published. Books, month, 30,000 a month. That's like 500,000 a year almost, okay? No one's going to read Harv Eker. No one ever heard of Harv Eker, so no one don't care. And I started thinking, you know what? You're going to write this book and nobody's going to read it. So I don't know how it came into my mind, other than this thing that I always, one of the big differences that I learned about, other than this kept sticking in my mind, this circle of trust, and saying, well, you know what? It would be really great if for people to read my book, they would have to know who I am, right? And like me and trust me and want to get my information. So you know what I'm going to do? I made this biggest decision of my life, really the biggest decision during that one walk. And I said to myself, don't write this book. Don't write this book right now. First of all, you don't even know if what's going to be in the book is what you want to keep in the book forever. Why don't you test the material out first? Get some people into a room, give them the material, see how they act and react, and see if it's worthwhile, okay? And start to, talk to people, get people to follow you first. There's no such thing as, online following, but follow me, like be a bit of a fan first, okay? Then we can talk about a book. So I started running I decided I was going to be in the seminar business to start and get people's reactions, etc., instead of writing a lifetime book, like a book that's there for life. And so I started with the seminar business. I started with 8 people in my living room, and they would only come if we gave them lunch. They came for the lunch. I'm telling you, they didn't know who I was, nothing. So they came, referred, and they really liked the material, had to tweak it. My next seminar was another 8 people, again, lunch. Next seminar was 30 people in a little classroom, et cetera, starting small, me. And then finally I kept building. And I started having this seminar that people wanted to go to because it worked for them. And now this is critical, everybody. I can tell a little story here. So what happened was I had this program called The Millionaire Mind. It had been tested, The Millionaire Mind. And it was a $1,295 seminar, 3-day course. And it was doing, and I would discount it to $795 and more people would come. I didn't have much to sell them on the back end, didn't have more programs. I just had this program really, okay? And then I had one other program, a business program to offer, a marketing program. So I would do okay. I would sell it for $795. I get like 200-300 people, and maybe about 50-60 people would buy the business program for another, $400 or $500. And that was my life for a while. And then I started writing another program. It was about life directions. And so now I was able to sell that program I get like 200-300 people. Okay. And then I wrote another program. And, during this time, that was a year and a half. And now I was able to sell that program. So now I started doing really good on this part of it right here, right? When they were in my room, I had really good support programs to help people with life directions, train the trainer, $1 million business secrets, enlightened warrior training, blah, blah, blah. And so I started realizing, this is when I really realized and went, holy crap. Once they're in my room, they love the stuff and they buy a lot, and I'm doing really well. All I need to do is get them in. I just need to get them in the room. So I'm getting excited. This is how this house happened and all the other houses. So I went, you know what? I had all this material here. I just need to get them in this room and they'll be thrilled. So then all of a sudden I'm going, okay, well, why don't I change it from $795 to get in the room to $395 to get in the room? And you know what? I did that, and double the amount of people came in the room. And because double the amount of people came, I made double the amount of money, even though I didn't make it up front. Then I said, why don't I let the second person, their spouse, in for free? Now, that was a whole psychological thing, because what I realized is that they wanted to take more courses, but they were afraid their spouse or their girlfriend or boyfriend would say, no, you spend all our money, blah, blah, blah. So I knew it had to be a couple decision. So if I could just get the couple there, they could talk it over right there instead of, I'll go home and think about it, which they never would think about it, and it would be over, right? So I said, I need to get the couple. So now listen to this. Now it went from $395, and then the second person was free to come in. Then I went to $195 and a free person. And all of a sudden I went from making, I don't know, maybe $20,000, $30,000 a weekend. I was now making $100,000 a weekend. All in here, and kept writing more programs to put in here to support my people. All I had to do was get them in, and then I could support them. That's why I'm making my money. So here's what happened. I go for a meeting up in Calgary, Alberta, because I was going to do this big speaking engagement for 10,000 people with Oprah on the bill. And I wanted to make sure this wasn't a sham and that they were really helping people. So I went up to Calgary to check it out and speak. And one of the speakers was Mark Victor Hansen. In case you know, he wrote a book called Chicken Soup for the Soul, all those chicken soups, right? And he was selling this inner circle that he had. and he was selling it for $1,295. And it was going to be all over the country, yada, yada, yada. And he had the booth in the lobby of this place. And I was good friends with him. He had spoken on my stage many, many times. I'd spoken on his. And he said to me, oh my God, I'm like getting creamed here. I go, why? He goes, well, I didn't make much for this gig, but my inner circle, I have not sold in 2 days. I have not sold one person this inner circle. I said, okay, well, because he's asking for advice. I said, well, what's it include? Blah, blah, blah. How much is it? $1,295. I said, well, you don't have any pizzazz. You're missing a bonus here. He goes, well, what? I go, and all of a sudden, I don't know. This is where spirit came right through me. I said to him, Mark, what if I were to give you my Millionaire Mind course and give it to you as a bonus for your VIP inner circle people? Because it was, not cheap at the time. $1,295 in those days, like $5,000 now. So it's like, these are good people. If they join, they got money and they're qualified and they want to learn. They're joining in there. So I said, Mark, what if I gave that to you as a test? I'll test it out with you. I'm going to give you my $1,200 course to give to them as a bonus if they sign up for your $1,200 program. He goes, you would do that? I'm going, yeah, let's do it. Because I recognize these are all good people here. And remember, what was my job? My job was to what? Get people into my circle, build my tribe. The whole thing is about that, right? So I said, so he did that. So guess what? 4 hours later, I kid you not, he comes up to me with this big bear hug. Mark's a big guy. He goes, mwah. I said, what? He goes, we're sold out. I just sold all 100 spots because it was a no-brainer. They've all heard of your course. They want to do your course. And they basically felt like, hey, if I'm paying for his course, I'm getting the whole inner circle for a year for free now. Right. So here's what happened. They all came to the next program, which was in Los Angeles. And they were from all over North America, but we tracked them. We actually even put very specific insignias on their name tags, okay? And we track them. And in here, you need to know how much you're earning per person, right? Whatever you're doing, right? So in the seminar business, it's called per person per seat or per head. How many people, okay? So if there's 5, so the average would be somewhere around, we would make somewhere on these sales, somewhere around, $700 to $800 per person in sales that was in the room. Well, we tracked those people that came for free, but they were super qualified, right? And they were at $1,500 ahead. And all of a sudden, at the end of that seminar, I started to cry. Because I'm saying to myself, oh my God, I could give away one of the best courses in the history of the world and become wealthy. I can make, the more free people I get in here, the richer I get. I can give this incredible course away for free and get really effing rich. It's unbelievable. Now, how do I give away these for free? And that's how the whole thing started. And in fact, I'm going to show you this right now. By the way, this is a story I don't tell.
I've never heard this story. I've never heard this one before.
I don't tell people this story because I don't want them to know. I'm only telling our group now. Do you see this over here? Oh, wait, 1 million sold. Let me see if I can find one over here. An older book here. Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can. Oh, yeah. Isn't this great? All right. This is the new book. Over 1 million sold. Now it's 4 million. Oh, we're number 1 in Brazil again. Just FYI. Number 1 in New York Times. The book is 15 years old. Number 1. This is the original book right there. Read that. Free bonus. 2 tickets to the Millionaire Mind seminar worth $2,509. Details inside. You open it up. Oh, look at how cute that is. You open it up and right over here. Let's see if I can find this right here.
The back.
The back, right. Well, anyways, somewhere in here is this is to my mom and dad, by the way. Somewhere in here, there's a certificate. It looks like a certificate. It's on one of the pages. and it says this is how you register with a 1-800 number to the course. And you get to come for free for 2 people if you bought the book. So here I would be in the evenings, for example, with 1,000 people in my room doing the Millionaire Mind evening, which is a intro to get them in the evening. What? To get them into my course the first time. That's all I need. Get them in the first time. All I need is that, right? I knew that. So I would say, so here's the deal. The course that I'd offer the program, the course would be $1,295 for a person. That's $2,500 more for two people, right? And then I would do this. I say, and I came up with a brand new book. Now here's the thing. This book has 2 tickets to the entire course right in it for free. So here's your choice. You can go to the back right now. You can pay $2,500 for 2 tickets, or you can buy a book. It has 2 tickets in it. Then I said this, and this is only for your people, Jess. Then I said this. Now they would freak out because they all wanted to come for $1,200, right? Because I already was selling the program until it was an amazing program. And they go, what? You mean instead of paying $1,200 a ticket, I could get 2 tickets just by buying this book for $20? This is your 2 tickets right here. You have the book. You come in to the $1,200, $2,500 value of course, and they go, this is a no-brainer. And then I would say this. So how many of you you believe you're good people, you're caring people, you're loving people? Don't you have friends that you believe would need this? Do you want them to pay $2,500, or do you want them to pay $20 for the same thing? Why would you only get 1 book? Why not buy a case of books? And so they did. They buy a case of 24 books for $480. And what do you think they did with the books? They gave them away as gifts to people. Now I have books out there all over the place, and all of these books have 2 tickets in them. And so now I went from having, 300-400 people in a room to 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 4,000 people in a room who are there for free but qualified because they read the book. And now instead of making $100,000 a weekend, I was earning $1 million a weekend. $1 million a weekend doing exactly the same thing. Why? Where's all the money, my friends? In your tribe. There's only 2 things you need to learn to do. Get them in and support them. That's it. This is really simple. And I don't tell this to a lot of people because, they don't understand that it's not about it's not about how much you sell them on the front end. It's about getting them in, building a relationship with them, and then offering them more products and services to support them. And this will also take care of the mindset that says, I don't like to sell. I don't want to sell people. Take the word sell out of your vocabulary. I never use that word. Jess, do we ever use the word?
Never. Help.
Never use the word sell. The word we use, and I think you mentioned this to a lot of your folks, and I don't know where my Sharpie went, but the word is really simple. You are never selling people. I don't want to sell people. I only want to do one thing. I want to help people. That's what you want to do. The people that are in your tribe, circle of trust, circle of tribe, whatever, okay? The people that are here, all you do all day long is think about how do you help them more? This will be another product, another service, get someone else get a speaker in, just how do I help these people? They have these problems. How do I help them, right? This is your wealth right there. 2 systems of marketing. 1 front end, move them in. 1 back end, offer them more support. Life is simple.
Love that. That is just, well, first of all, one of the most epic stories I've ever heard. People are freaking out right now. I'm freaking out on the inside because I've never heard it. My hands are sweating. It's like such a great story. And also, what an edification to what we've been talking about, this whole challenge and what we're moving forward with, the next step, the tribe. As you guys can see, with Harv's experience, this is it, the circle of trust, the tribe. right? So if you're ready to move forward into building your ultimate tribe, you know where to go. jessestribe.com. I'm not doing that to pressure anyone. I'm doing it to edify, to help everyone understand that business is simple when you know what to do. This is what we need to do, right? Get people into our tribe, lead the tribe, and provide more services and help for that. Simple, easy. Let's make it easy for you, not complicated. As Harv says, simple is doable. Complicated is interesting. We want to keep things simple. All right.
We should finish this off with just one more thing that I want to make sure we mention, Jess, and that is, listen, people say all the time, like, what do? I want to be successful. Okay. I go, listen, one of the things I didn't know early on, but I know now for sure is that, success is a learnable skill. Success at anything. Maybe you're not going to be, the greatest basketball player in the world because you're not, 6'9" and blah, blah, blah. But you can be a very, 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 very good and successful basketball player. All right. You can be very good at it. But what do you have to do? You have to learn how to do it. Maybe right. I'm not going to be the best piano player in the world. I'm not going to go to Carnegie Hall. I'm not going to play in the Philharmonic Orchestra, but I can be a very, 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 very good, great, excellent, amazing piano player. But what I have to do, I have to learn how to do it. So the most important thing for people to realize is you can learn how to do anything, and you can learn how to do business. I learned how to do business originally the wrong way. That's why I was broke for so many years. I thought I was learning the right way. I was learning from people, but I was so broke. Evidently, that was the wrong way. When I finally figured out things that actually worked, that were radically different than what I learned, I started teaching those things. I felt bad for people. Why are people learning this? It doesn't work. Okay. It's a whole thing. You need to replace your job and work for yourself. Ah! Oh my God, I should choke you right now. You are killing people. Don't say that. It's not true. Okay. And then if you get a good job, and you work hard at it, you'll always be able to provide. That's great, but then don't call your seminar Born Rich, because you're not going to be rich. You're going to be broke for the rest of your freaking life, okay? You need to own your own business, control it. You can build it and expand it and sell it. That is how you get rich. People need to know this. Yeah. So I learned the wrong way. And what I encourage people to do is find yourself some mentors, some teachers, whatever, and learn the way that has been successful for them. One of the things I am proud of, Jess, in what we do and what I've always done and that you're doing now is we're almost like a case study, right? We show people what we're doing right now that's working, that this is how we're doing it. This is, when I say to people, I earn $1 million a weekend. Would you like to learn how to do that? They're going, yeah, okay, this is how I do it. I'm not reading it out of a book. I'm not like learning from somebody else. This is how I do it. This is how you front end market. This is how you back end market. This is how you make an offer from the stage. This is what the copy needs to look like. This is what the back table needs to look like. People have to be given out order forms from the stage right, stage left. This is what it looks like. How do I know? Because I do it every day. That's how I know. This is the same with our material. How do we know it works? Because we do it. We make thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars every hour. That's how we know. Here's how we do it. Here, learn it. Do it yourself now. So, if people resonate with us, maybe they want to learn from us. If they don't resonate with us, they think someone's better or whatever, do that. But the worst thing they can do is a little here, a little there, a little here, a little there, a little here. That's how I did my golf game. That's why I'm so shitty at golf now, because I started taking advice from them, a little here. Listen, if you like our stuff, do it with us. If you don't like our stuff, do it with somebody else. Certainly you could glean a little bit for whatever, but there's base principles, everyone. Base principles. The wheel on the bike must be round. You understand? I don't care if it's 2020 right now or 2000 or 1980 or 1920 or 2000 and a million. The wheel's got to be round, okay? That's what our stuff is. It is the basic foundational elements that must be there all the time. Now the format, Instagram, Facebook, magazine, newspaper, art, that all changes. So what? That's just what your format is. That's just Your delivery method, so what? Is it Amazon, UPS, or Federal Express? Who gives a shit? It's all the same stuff though, right? So that's the key thing, everybody. There's write this down. There's only two things you have to do to be successful. I think Jesse's probably mentioned it to you. I came up with this many years ago. It's my simple philosophy. I came up with it during an interview in Singapore. They all want to know how to do it. There was 6,500 people at the event in Singapore. The media wanted to know, okay, right in the middle of that, what is your key to success? Okay, key to success, 2 keys, anybody, write them down. Learn and do, and that's it. Learn, do, and repeat that. I said at the beginning, you can learn how to do anything, and business is no different. Okay, you can learn how to succeed in business. You can learn how to succeed in marketing. Hopefully, maybe you learned or were motivated or relearned something today that just made it so simple that you could just go out there and use it. Hey, all I have to do is build a tribe and then offer to them, make sales to them, support them. That's all I need to do here. Okay, this is not hard. Okay, think about them, not me. It's so simple, right? And everything, if you think like that, it'll come out in your vocabulary. It'll come out in your passion, however you do it. It'll come out in your words. It'll come out in your heart. If you're thinking about you and how much money you can make, that's what's going to be in your copy. That's what it's going to smell like. That's what people are going to get from you. You understand? So if you're thinking about them, they're going to get that from you. They're going to want to learn from you. They're going to want to work with you. They're going to want to buy from you because they trust you and they like you and they want to do that. So it's learn and do. Learn something and then do that. Learn more, do that. Learn more, do that. Learn more, do that. Learn more, do that. And in the end, you're rich. Now, I hope, Jesse, that our people have really got something from this. And the most important thing is you can learn how to do this. And, we talked a little bit about the program that you're offering. And, you designed that program based on our similar philosophies. And the most important thing about this is I love the whole tribe thing. When I was growing up in business, I never used the word tribe. Today they use the word tribe. I love that. I use the word circle of trust. In my mind, it's always I love it. Circle of tribe feels to me like these are your friends. These are the people that are in life with you. You're working for them. You're working to help them, and they help you. It's a win-win situation. So you got to keep it simple, everybody. Don't make it complicated. And if you put your attention on helping people and you get them involved with you, so the first part of it is the front end marketing, and Jesse, I'm sure that's in your program, right?
Yep.
How do you get him into the circle? That's critical. And with me, hello, this everywhere we went, there was 3,000, 5,000, 7,000 people in the room. And now, listen to this. Now, after 4 or 5 years, guess what? I'm telling you things that are completely confidential here. Now, listen to this. Now we built up the numbers on the front end to where there's 5,000 people in our room. And guess what? Remember I started only offering one program? Now I was offering a 4-year program called the Titanium program that was $40,000. And a lot of people, hundreds of people would take that. They had 4 years to take it. They loved the program. They loved what they were learning. Now I have 5,000 people. I'm offering a $40,000 product. And yes, you could buy individual courses for $2,000 a piece or $800 a piece, but you get the whole package. It's calling it for $40,000. And you have no idea. They were lined up in the back to give me $40,000. And you wonder why the fucking house looks like this? You don't have to wonder.
I love it.
This is just one of the houses.
One, yeah. One of the three amazing.
Everyone, you can do this. This is not complicated. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Okay, so I want to wrap it up off that one. I think that was just the most epic interview of all time. That was more a great conversation and so many amazing things that we can take away from that. So, we like to do things so that you're learning, so that you're growing, so that you're evolving. And so one of the things that we would like to do to end this is let's make sure that you learn something, we're reminded something, and are going to move forward with something. So why don't you put into the comments right now on Zoom or on Facebook so Luke reads some stuff. What was your biggest takeaway from today? What is one thing? What's one of your big takeaways from today? One thing that you either learned, confirmed, or remembered? What's one of those? Some of those things. Where is there money? In your tribe, right? Learn and do, Marcella says. It's not about you, it's about them. Who else? Move tribe into the room. Yeah, get your tribe into the room. It's all about the circle of trust, right? 2 things to be successful, learn and do. It's not about me, it's about them. It's about your tribe. Big fish in a little pond, so huge. I can do this, right? Someone says I have multiple pages of notes going on. The triangle, right you, right vehicle, right knowledge. Being able to systemize, keep it simple, helping, not selling. The circle of trust. Authenticity helps overcome fear. Marcus says the economy thing. It's about my economy, not the economy. We have such smart students, right? Systemize each part. It's about me, not about that. It's about them, not about me. Change the vocab. I am doing business. Help, not sell. Focus on them. Get them in your tribe. Yes, so many amazing ones. So here we go. Harv, Dad, compadre, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for showing up, over delivering as you always do. You've taught me so much, and I'm just modeling you on what you do. Thank you for being here. Thank you for leading the way. Thank you for showing us how simple it can get and where we can go. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you. And I appreciate your real sincerity in helping people. That's what we talk about all the time. Just like all our question all the time is, how do we help people better? How do we help people more? And I love your sincerity about that. You're doing well financially, but you're doing it like we teach as a result of helping other people. And that's just reward because you do it intelligently, like what we teach people. So, I think one of the things I love about you is that, you're taking the information and you're giving people how to use this information from your own experience, because you're using it and you're doing it and you're making we make lots of money on the online as well. And you're doing that. So you can share with people, this is how we're doing it. Just model us. We're going to teach, this is what we're doing. It's not like, hey, I read this in a book. You're doing it. And it's not just you got it from me. You're doing it yourself right now. Right. So it comes from truth and experience, and it works in the real world. And how do you know it works in the real world? I don't know. You want to look at our bank accounts? That's how you know.
Thank you so much. And thanks everyone for tuning in, staying the whole time. We had over 140 people watching this, and I'm sure we'll have a couple thousand people watch the replays. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you guys for showing up. Remember, 80% of success, just showing up. You guys did it. You didn't only show up, but you finished. And that's what it's all about, showing up and finishing what you start. Thank you for being here. Thanks for watching. And thanks for tuning in and being our tribe. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.